Hey everyone, today we're headed up to the Canadian border in New Hampshire because we're going to do the hike to the 4th Connecticut Lake. I have videos of the other 3, which are created by damming the river, but this one is natural, no dam. It's quite a ways into the woods. It's about a 3-mile loop, the trail, and you park right at the border control building. There's a few parking spaces there. Then you walk around their fence and you start the trail. The trail is shared. No matter what country you're in, you can use it. The trail actually crosses the border about a dozen times. It zigzags back and forth on its way there. It'll be a pretty cool trail. I've been wanting to do that for a while. We were up here in the winter. It was a terrible day because it was snowy, and this road is not good in snowy weather. A lot of hills. Alright, it is Father's Day. It's 75 degrees here. It's almost 6 p.m. We have about 2 hours of daylight, so I'm going to bring a light with me. I think I'll be back before dark. Pretty sure. I should be fine. Alright. Okay, we'll be the only one on the trail. No one else is at the trail parking. This is the border control building. Now, last time I came here, it was raining. Notice the parking spaces over here are all faded. I drove by this, unable to see them. So last time I followed, there's a sign right here that says yeah, you see what I mean? They're faded. I can't even see them to park straight. But anyways, there's a sign here saying hiking trail with an arrow pointing forward. So I assume the parking lot was there because there's a big dirt circle like on the border line. I thought that was like a shared parking lot. So I drove over there, set an alarm off, and got the car searched. Maybe I'll post that dash cam footage of that. It's kind of hilarious watching them dig through the vehicle. All the hilarious things in here. I carry all kinds of extra fuel. I have all kinds of tools in here and a bunch of other weird objects I find on the side of the road, including trash. All right, let's start the hike, which is here. No dogs allowed. Hiking trail pointing over here. You can tell not many people do the trail. There's not even a trail on this lawn. Hiking trail begins over here. All right, here we are. Okay, so this is 1-2 miles back. It looks to be about 3 miles or so combined. Yeah, as you can see, this trail is not traveled by many people at all. Wow, look at this. Not many people seem to hike this trail, so this entire area is going to be blackberries come another month. Trail is starting to get steep. Okay, that's where we started. And as you walk on the trail, there's a bunch of markers like this. Seems to be new. 2020. That's the border. Gonna be a great trail come another month. There's so many blueberries, raspberries, blackberries all over the trail. Yeah, the reason there's so many berries is because they keep this area trimmed. Because you see this clearing, right? This is the United States, this is Canada. So this trail basically follows the border the entire way. Check it out, these ferns are huge. This trail needs serious maintenance. A lot of these are broken and it's overgrown. See this? Water comes tumbling down this hill. And look at this. It's burying these things with silt. I like this part of the trail. It's like a sidewalk. It's all one big slab of granite. Really cool. This kind of reminds me of the mountain Welsh Dickey. The entire top of it is all one big piece of granite. One solid piece. All right, here's a trail going somewhere else. Starting somewhere in Canada to do the hike. Just a few minutes ago I was mentioning they got to replace these boardwalks. Look at this, there's a big drop of new materials. It looks like they are going to rebuild. And look at this. See all that chicken wire there? I bet they're going to tack that over the new boardwalks for its slip resistant. All right, the border here. This is Canada. You see their border is not exactly straight. But now, here we go. Oh, we're closer than I thought we would be. No camping. We basically can't do anything here except hike without an animal. All right, heading back into the woods away from the border. Ooh, look at that, moose tracks. Now this trail seems to be all downhill. We're descending back down to the 4th Connecticut Lake. Before now, it was all uphill, like climbing a little mountain, no more than a few hundred feet in elevation. Ah yeah, they definitely need new timbers. Look at this. Look how worn out these ones are. It looks more like a unrecognizable log, but it used to be squared off and pinned in there. This one has got to be more recent. Oh, a lot of mud. Yeah, a lot of moose, I bet, hang out here at night. This part of the trail's nice. Now this, honestly, I wouldn't even consider this a lake. It's more of a pond. This is the official start of the Connecticut River. It's actually fed from a unnamed stream beginning in Canada. But this is the start of it. All rivers start off as a tiny little trickle. The Connecticut River is huge in Connecticut, but up here it's really small, and you can cross it without even getting wet above your knees. All right, we're here at the 4th Connecticut Lake. We're gonna do the loop. A lot smaller than I thought it would be. You know, it's nothing more than a pond, although it is called a lake. Yeah, the water's also pretty low, because you can see by the evidence the water would be up here. Most of these plants would be submerged. I can see why there's so many moose tracks on the trail. It's a great grazing area. They love plants that they can just reach in and grab, although a moose will dive to even eat plants. See a big beaver lodge over there. Those wood timbers are completely unrecognizable. Look at this. It's a good thing they're about to replace these. Look at that, it rotted right off the nail. Now it's a tripping hazard. I'd feel better not even using that boardwalk. Although if you trip on a hiking trail, hiking's your own risk, because you could just as easily fall on a slippery log. Big moose prints. Wow, this is an awesome trail. I would love to come here during a rainstorm and see all these with trickling water under them. I would have loved this trail as a little kid. Love these boardwalk trails. This trail is pretty easy to do, although you gotta do some steep hills. But I love the challenge of this. Oh, there's some more boardwalks that are rotten. Yeah, you can see a lot of rushing water goes through here. And look at this. Whole thing is wobbling. Okay. This is the Connecticut River coming out of Canada. Almost dried up. So that explains why the pond is so low. Before it hits the pond, it's an unnamed stream. That's what we're on now. But this is the start of the Connecticut River. Looking down at the ground, more moose than people are using this trail currently. I kind of like these rickety boardwalks. Like, these ones don't need to be replaced. Kind of gives it a nice rustic vibe. Look at this, there's some trails, people getting views, probably seeing animals out there. Look at that, all the flowers from the lily pads coming out. And look at this, there's more little streams feeding this too. There's probably 4 of them so far. Not a good place to fall. If that dam didn't exist, this lake would not be here. Well, not what it is now. It would be dropped back to this level. But there is no secondary Beaver Dam, which is kind of weird. They usually do that. I got so much tick spray on, I'm not worried about this. Look at this. Tons of beaver tracks. They made this trail. Probably running into the woods for supplies to build that dam. This is the start of the Connecticut River. It appears this lake has 2 exits, which is unusual. It's got that mud hole, which obviously has flowing water. So it appears the secondary part of the lake does have a dam in here. But as you can see, it's overtaken by bushes, which are helping to strengthen. But there's been no beaver improvements lately. Nothing has been built onto that. So this is the start of the Connecticut River right here. I like this. Instead of putting a bridge, they just put this. And by the evidence on the banks, it's not like during the spring thaw this whole area floods underwater. No, it doesn't. It looks like you'd have a little tips to jump across. Because you see, that's the maximum riverbed right there. People have created a little trail leading off of the main trail to take a look at the Beaver Dam. Let's check it out. It's actually stable here. Okay, so this is probably a foot above this, which you saw the secondary dam they're not really taking care of. This is great. Look at that. It's probably only a foot below capacity. Now, this is cool. This looks like they were actual just logs. It was built primitively, like a log cabin. You see, they made the notches so they would fit together. Looks like they built these out of materials that were out here. They didn't bring anything. You can probably tell on this hike, I sound pretty out of breath. That's because I'm speed hiking it. So far, it's literally only been 20 minutes since I left the parking lot. I'm gonna do this whole thing in less than 40 minutes. It's still sunny out, but look how dense and dark this part of the forest is. It's nice. Just finished the loop. Having a little break before I go back with some snacks. Here's the old sign, because I was looking at it. Why did it have this extra piece of wood? They turned it around and put the new sign. But look how loose it is. They keep pounding sticks in around it to secure it. Why even have the pole? Could have just as easily put it on that tree, facing each way. Or the tree here. 1992. All right, we're back. Okay, so this is going to be like a probably 15 minutes back to the parking lot, speed hiking. Overall, this was a great trail. The rotted boardwalks actually add a very rustic vibe to the trail, which I like. And this trail is great because it's a variety. Parts of it are swampy and muddy, even though it's been pretty dry out. Other places are kind of a challenge to climb up, actually. You actually have to get down on your hands and have multiple points of contact. Other parts, it's like this. You're brushing through stuff, which is interesting. Other parts, you're walking on a solid sheet of granite. Some parts you're in the woods. Some parts you're in the deep woods where it actually gets dark. Really nice trail. Look at us here. See how the moss is all worn around? It looks like everyone does this. Hey, I just noticed there's a motion sensor and camera on that pole right there. So the first part of the hike, they're probably watching us inside the building.